97.1 The Ticket. Lions defenseman Cornelius Washington back at practice. He's off the injury list. He had 2.5 sacks last year. Lions also make a couple moves. They signed receiver Don Williams and waive injured wideout Deontez Alexander. Other Major League Baseball news. Justin Verlander strikes out 14 in 7 1/3 as the Astros beat the Dodgers last night 2-1. Another former Tiger done good. How about Rick Porcello needing just 86 pitches? He completes a one-hitter. Boston over the Yankees 4-1. He struck out 9. Porcello 14-4. Even Anibal Sanchez wins another game. He keeps winning. Ohio State football coach Urban Meyer says he followed proper reporting protocols regarding domestic violence allegations against an assistant coach in 2015. Ian Poulter, Tommy Fleetwood, Justin Thomas sure to lead 11 under par through 3 rounds of the Bridgestone. Tiger Woods is 5 shots back at -6. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 97.1theticket.com.
The following is a paid program. The views expressed on this program are not necessarily those of Entercom Communications, its sponsors, or affiliates.
Good morning. Welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. I'm your host, Harvey Freed. Alongside of me, Harry Glanz.
Morning, everybody. How you doing today, Harv?
Fantastic. Hey, Harry, what's going on? A gorgeous day outside, 88 and sunny, and we got lots of energy here in Southeast Michigan. We bring in, of course, Peter Zook from Capital Mortgage, and good morning to you, Pete.
Hello. How you doing?
There you are, Pete. Hey, Tony Holquin from Gap Realty. Tony, you're making your second appearance. Welcome back.
Yes, thank you very much. Appreciate you guys having me back again.
So, Harvey, you got to love Tony, right? Earlier in the week, he emails us, everybody, if you're watching on Facebook Live, here it is. He emails us a bunch of stuff he wants to talk about. He comes in prepared.
Yeah, he's got to go.
He loves being on the show.
Yes,
He did a
love
great
it.
job last time. So welcome back, my man.
Well, thank you very much. I
You got
appreciate
it.
it.
Tony, sometimes we, after 18 and a half years, we're going to our 19th year if they let us sign up again to do the show. I sometimes, I leave the show and I want to give as much information to listening audience. And this week, it was like at the beginning of the week, I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep doing this. And then a customer came in and they sat down and we did it the old-fashioned way. And it reminded me of how the old-fashioned way still works today, and it works best for all clients. They really wanted to learn what they were doing, what they were signing, the process A to Z. And I know that's one of the things that, Tony, that you and I probably would hit best on is definitely working with the clients the old-fashioned way, sitting them down and teaching them how to buy a house and being successful.
That is the best way, in my opinion. You always need to sit down and do a needs and wants list. Explain to them the market. Explain to them what they're up against, what to expect, what not to expect. Be able to coach them through it. Talk to them about some different things regarding financing, different things regarding some of the other features, neighborhoods and stuff. What the neighborhoods have the offer that they're looking for, and just be a consultant to them.
Right.
I think that there's nothing wrong with sitting down with people face to face and going over it because, see, we can't take it for granted, or maybe we do. We take it for granted that we do this all day, every day of the year.
Yes,
now, when
sir.
people buy a house and they get a mortgage, on average, they get it every about 7 years, right? So they're doing it maybe once, twice, 3 times in their entire lives. They're making that move, and we do it every day. So I believe to sit down in front of somebody. Now, there's nothing wrong with gathering information and emailing and texting and, going over that kind of thing, and it's fine. But you really need, if you are an inexperienced first-time home buyer, especially, gentlemen, you've got to sit down with somebody and you have to go over it. And there's a hand-holding process through all the disclosures. Now, look, on a real estate purchase agreement, they're 4, 5, 6 pages long. There are things in there that you need to go over. Well, on a mortgage transaction, there's 100 pages of disclosures, documents, going over the note, going over the mortgage itself. If you have insomnia, read mortgage documents.
That'll put you
It'll put you right to sleep.
Right to sleep.
There are certain things in there that you need to know. I mean, is there a prepayment penalty? We don't offer a prepayment penalty. We don't do any loans that have a prepayment penalty, but you need to know if there is one. Yeah. You need to know if it's not a fixed rate mortgage, when is your adjustable rate mortgage? How much is it going to go up? What's the date it's going to go up? What's the index? What's the margin? There are a lot of things that you need to know. So all I'm saying is that a first-time home buyer especially needs to sit down with somebody and go over all the disclosures. And we're a disclosure-heavy and compliance-heavy industry, real estate and mortgage lending.
So you see so much of that.
We believe that. I think it's great.
248-539-9797. If you're just tuning in, of course, 1 hour of the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. I know we got a full staff all morning long, and we'll talk about getting the strong approval letter on the buyer side. Tony, you threw something out there that was pretty cool, too. You talked about maybe the sellers needing to do what they need to do to get their house set up. Downriver last month, Tony, you put in your notes, had 38% of the homes that were listed over the last 60 days had a price reduction.
Actually, over the last 30 days.
Oh, okay, even more. Days, yeah. Explain that a little bit.
Well, what's going on down there is that obviously many of the sellers feel as though the market is going to carry them, that there's lack of inventory, and that's just going to mean someone's going to come in, pay them full price or more, and that's not just the case. You have to prep your house. You have to get it ready for the market. It needs to still show well. It needs to be priced good. You need to have good showing accessibility. Mm-hmm. And it's no different than getting pre-approved for the mortgage. You got to be the best possible buyer out there, and you got to be the best possible seller in the market at that given time.
Yeah, that's a great point. 248-539-9797. We're going to take your calls all morning long. Of course, it'll be sports all day. Of course, the Tigers took it on the chin last night after 13 innings.
13 innings.
13 innings, a 1-0 loss. But they're back at it in Oakland, I think, this afternoon or maybe this evening. And keep it here on 97.1. Tons of sports coming up. But, again, get your financial house in order. This time of year is a little funky, too, Tony. It's the end of the spring-summer buying season. I'm starting to feel that tone as I got a kid going off to college even next week. And many families are starting to get into that college or back to school. But it's been a good window for some families to go ahead and take advantage of the home buying season this time of the year. What do you think about that? And what do you see out there? What's left on the market and is now as good a time as any?
Now is still a good time to sell and a great time to buy. But what you got to do is you got to consider what it's going to cost you to wait. What I'm saying about that is, for instance, if you waited a year, let's just say you wanted to wait until next spring or something of that nature, save up a little bit more down payment, and that's okay. Saving up your down payment's important. But if you think about what it costs you to wait, let's just say you have a $300,000 house, you have a 10% increase in value. You just over the course of a year, you've lost $30,000. That house is not going to cost you $330,000.
Well, Tony, what do you here? Let me play devil's advocate as I often do. I try to bring the other side in there. So, what do you say to people? And Harvey and I, we've experienced this over time. And this year could be the year, and in past years we've seen it happen, where fall into winter, the homes that are on the market, if they hadn't sold, or people have to list it at that time because there are life circumstances where people have to list it in the fall and the winter, what do you say to the people that say, hey, Tone, I'm going to wait till the winter and I'm going to buy a house because maybe the prices of homes are going to come down? And I could pick up a pretty good buy in the wintertime because most people that are selling their homes in the winter have to sell them. In the summer, when the weather's beautiful out like this, and you talked about it, capitalizing on the market, the beautiful weather, the lack of homes on the market, people want to get their kids into school, so they have to, get them in before September or at least have a purchase agreement in September. So what do you say to that? Where somebody says, Tony, I can go ahead and I can wait because I know, historically speaking, the prices go down in the wintertime, at least in southeastern Michigan, because the weather's so bad.
Well, by the same token, too, you're going to have less to choose from.
Yeah.
There'll be less market out there. There'll be less inventory. So you may have to, settle for something that may not be may not have been available, was available a few months ago, but may not be in the wintertime. You might save a couple of bucks, but you might end up in a neighborhood that you're really not crazy about.
Yeah, and that's a great point because there is that variable.
Yes.
But there are people out there, they might just not be in a hurry. They might not be picky. They might want to fix it up themselves. There are all kinds of things because, as you know, no two transactions are alike. No two borrowers are alike. No two people that are shopping for homes are alike. It's a very emotional buy, isn't it? Buying a home is a very emotional thing, and you never know what hot button somebody's going to have.
Right. And that's the point of the buyer consultation, is to sit down and talk to them, explain what's going on, and get their take on what is really important to them. We could do a presentation that's 3 days long, and if we don't hit on what's important to the client, it doesn't really matter.
And I think that's great. A longtime hero of mine in the radio business, Rick Bloom, he was on the Money Show for a long time, and he always talked about goals and objectives. What are your goals personally, and what are your objectives? What are you trying to achieve? And that's what rings true in our mind when Harvey and I and all our people sit down. What is that buyer, our client, what's their long-term goal and objective?
Yeah, you definitely got to figure all that out. Wants and needs, distance from work has always been one of the major things that we see a lot of people getting involved with. Tony, of course, sitting down after, maybe just driving 15 minutes extra to work will open up a whole new area for you. Now, a lot of families talk about location, but with the lack of inventory, we have had some families, discuss with us, hey, Harvey, you know what? I found something that's a little bit outside of where I was looking, but I love it, and they end up stretching out their needs list a little bit. And, at the end of the day, we talk about the homes that are left on the marketplace. Pete, we'll talk about that in the next segment also, about talking about some 203K loans and some home renovation loans that'll get you the house and make it the way you want to make it.
Yeah, Tony, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you because it's my favorite question. How do you see property values right now?
How do I see them?
Yeah, what do you see? What do you see trending, and how are they holding up for you in your area?
Yeah, they're holding up. They're holding up as long as that it is a good product and it's priced well. It's going to still have multiple offers on it.
All right, hey, you guys, this little music here says we're going to go to our first break here in the morning. If you're listening, give us a call, 248-539-9797. We'll show you ways to save money on the house. Keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket.
Hi, Harry Glantz and Danberg for Capital Mortgage Funding. We do loans everywhere. In Southfield, in Birmingham, in Royal Oak, in Grosse Ile, in Detroit, in Canton, in Northville. No matter where you live, we want to do your mortgage too. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.
Welcome back to the show.
Austin's air drumming over here.
Air drumming. He doesn't love a little rush. Hey, nice. You got cowbell over there?
Everyone needs more cowbell.
More cowbell. Sorry, Harvey. No worries. Don't worry about it. You guys listen to the Hardcore Mortgage Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Fund. Again, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. We have some great guys in here this morning, Austin and Bill West, and we got Joe Muck in here from Keller Williams Advantage Market Center, Novi, Northville area. You guys are always busy. It's a big area. Your area's been happening. And a little bit of talk about what's going on west of you guys, because as growing up in Oakland County and being in this area, there's no doubt that it just continuously is pushing down 696. And I'm sure you guys are even picking up the South Lyon stuff and everything headed west. So there's just so many opportunities out there and some new great areas. And Joe, sometimes you'll even see that with the family when you sit down and you've worked out their needs list and you think you're all set. And then you got to sort of reevaluate and sit down and maybe edit that needs list.
Just happened yesterday, offer accepted. Client was looking, they wanted an acre of land or more, they wanted all these other things, but then of course the interior that they wanted. And so we saw 7, 8, 9 houses all over Milan, Grass Lake. I mean, we were really all over. And then we go into one house, it's in Adrian, it's less than half an acre, but it met every other demand. So they said, this is the one.
There you go.
So it happens all the time, and I try to tell everybody that, I said, I'm not going to push you one way or the other. I'm going to set you up with what you told me. And then as we see them, I'm going to ask you, is this still what you want?
Yeah.
Do you still want to be within walking distance of downtown? Do you still want to be here? Do you still want to do that? Sometimes the answer is yes, and sometimes the answer is no.
Yeah, coming from someone I'm actually dabbling, as we were talking about, with the whole purchasing a new home, and I have my wants and my needs, but as you're out there and you're looking, you have to compromise and you have to figure out what it is that you absolutely must have in a house and what you're willing to settle on a little bit, just because the lack of inventory. And right now, like you said, there's a little bit of a lull in July, but starting to pick up. So now you have these new listings, but they're coming up with these onesie twosies, and everyone's jumping on these turnkey, because I'm guilty. I want to walk into a house and I have to do very much. I don't have time for that. So it's just about finding that inventory. But like you said, if the house isn't perfect, what are you willing to settle on? Are you looking for that perfect kitchen, that perfect bathroom? Do you want the location? Is it the schools? And just figure out what it is that's best for you.
By the way, Becky, this is another reason to hire professional guys.
Yes.
The truth of the matter is that what she's talking about is you need to prioritize what's really important to you. And when you sit down with a professional, one of the things we're coaching our guys to do is sit down and make a priority list. And what's funny about that is, especially even with a husband and wife or a partnership, people don't even have the same priorities. So a lot of times what we'll do is just sit down and say, and I know, Bill, you do a fantastic job with this.
is the radio.com app. Download it today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
97.1 The Ticket.
All right, welcome back to the show. 248-539-9797. Right here on The Ticket. You've got to tune to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show in our 18th plus season, giving you lots of great information. If you're looking to buy a house, call Capital Mortgage Funding or give us a call here on the show. 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage bank, or you get a real approval. Really educate yourself on that home purchase. It makes it really fun, and I think like purchasing a house should be a lot of fun, especially when you're spending 6 digits or more to what's going on typically out there. Harry, there's a lot going out there in the world of marketing. Of course, we do this radio show. Everyone wants to be a radio star lately. We see the Facebook Live. We're on it. We're seeing when we open up our Facebook, we're seeing a lot of selfies and some really cool stuff out there. I like when I see the real estate agents are at the house and they're walking around. Some of it's really cool. On the other hand, though, I know everyone wants to be a superstar and show off their family and all those great things. But at the end of the day, Tony, I want to hire the person who's most qualified to educate me about that home purchase. And as much as I appreciate it, and I get a little bit of noticeability out there in the world in regards to someone might see me or listen to the show. At the end of the day, I hope you come with me because I'm sharing some great information with you. And I think that's the key in mortgages or real estate is educating the borrower the buyer so that they're doing the right things.
It most definitely is. Technology is fantastic, and it's changed the way we've done business, but it's still not a substitute for good customer service.
Yeah, but you're talking about this, Harvey. You're talking about marketing, and we like all the fun marketing and the good ideas that come about. But you understand that people are getting mass mailers and emails all day, every day that are not legitimate.
Right.
All right, so there's letters that you're going to get to your house. It looks like it's legitimate. It might even reference your current lender. It might even say Capital Mortgage Funding on it. You need to call us or your lender because if it doesn't come from us or your lender and just references it, they're trying to get you to do something and spend your money and write them a check that is not legitimate. So you need to call that relationship that you have with your lender. That should be your first call. Right now, I'm seeing a lot of letters coming to people's homes. I get them all day, every day. They scan them. They send them to us.
Right.
And they're not associated with your current lender. Don't fall into that. And I can report it even to the Attorney General of the State of Michigan, which I do.
No, Harry, I'm glad you brought it up because I had a client who, they called me up and I apologized. I said, Harvey, I'm glad. And what happened was they got one of those letters saying that they're going to remove their PMI. Yeah. Well, sure enough, you have to stay in the house a little bit longer than 2 months. And they spent the money on the appraisal and everything, and they were dealing with an inexperienced mortgage lender. You can check the National Mortgage License Lender's number. I mean, if you're looking at 7 digits, you better find out if they just got their license lately or how long they've been in the industry.
It's not even that. The offer that they might be sending you in the mail or on the internet, it's not a legitimate offer. I mean, we see it all the time. There are certain rules and regulations all lenders have to go by. So, just be careful. All I'm just saying to everybody out there is be careful and call the people that you have a relationship with. Or give us a call and we'll tell you if it's legitimate or not.
Right. Hey, let me segue real quick into the FHA program because the National Association of Realtors totally supports the FHA program. I mean, since I got in the industry several years ago, it's been just an unbelievable program. And why? The minimum down payment, the back-end ratio, the flexibility of the back-end ratio. And we've had a tremendous amount of success. FHA is very healthy. They're lending money out to a lot of families out there. Again, at Capital Mortgage, we will take a look if you're 600 and above credit score. So we've had some families who've had lower credit scores. We've turned them into home buyers instead of renters. They're building equity. They're really starting to save money. And again, call Capital Mortgage Funding and find out if you'll fit into one of the FHA mortgages. We're going to talk about a lot of different programs also today.
And by the way, those rates on FHA transactions are really strong rates and allows people to get in, like you said, Harvey, with a lower down payment.
Yeah.
Also, VA loans.
Mm-hmm. Zero. I'm glad you're going to start talking about them. Zero down on the VA loans here. We've got USDA loans with zero down and small PMI. VA loans, if you're a veteran out there, find out how the VA eligibility can help you become a homeowner. It doesn't take a whole lot of money to become a homeowner. I mean, really change your family's life around. And again, it's a great offer for all of our...
But your credit has to be good.
Yeah.
And, you have to show the willingness and the ability to be able to pay the loan back. And in point number 3 on Tony's notes to us earlier in the week, he says, Harry, I'm seeing a plethora of stated income loans out there. Right, Tone? You said that.
Yeah.
And from the tone of the email, you say, well, how, show 1 month of bank statements, get a mortgage. What's going to happen? Isn't this going back
to the
Wild
West?
To the Wild West days? I mean, what does that really mean? It's different now. Back in the old days, if you could breathe on a mirror, you got a loan. All right. Yeah. And that's what you're referencing. This is a lot different. It's a lot different, number one, because you have to show an income stream. You have to prove an income stream. Number two, do you think you're getting the lowest rate possible? Absolutely not. You're not. It's a different rate. It's a different program. And yes, it might have some flexibility, but it's just not a stated income like back in the old days. They call them NINA loans, no income, no asset loans. And, no income, no asset, get a loan. I mean, it never made sense, and we never did those kind of loans. So, I think that's, economically speaking, I think that was part of it, a bad downturn in that. But, there are a lot of things that happened back in the day. There was a perfect storm. Economy was going in the tank. Property values were dropping. People were losing their jobs, and, people had to move out. So this is not the same kind of thing. It really isn't, and I'm glad to see. I'm glad that you asked about it. You're bringing consciousness, awareness to it.
Yes.
So it makes us go out in the marketplace and explain these types of loans to borrowers. Everybody just hears. In the mortgage world and the real estate world, the first question we get as a mortgage person is, what's your rate? Well, what do you mean, what's your rate? How do we know what your credit is? How long have you been on the job? How much money do you make? What's your credit history look like in the past? Did you have a foreclosure? Did you have a bankruptcy? Do you have good credit, bad credit? Can we help you repair your credit? There's so many more things before we can even talk about program and interest rate that we have to check out. So when we're sending out pre-approval letters, Harvey, you know what we have to do. We run it through our DU underwriting system. We go ahead and get the financials. Obviously, we run the credit. We check it out. We just don't write these letters. We don't have a string of paper where we just write pre-approval letters on.
Yeah, Harry,
right?
That's a really great topic, and I want to get too deep into that. 248-539-9797. Yes, Capital Mortgage is the place to go so that you don't have trouble with your mortgage. Again, get a real approval. 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. We're definitely going to be talking about some buyer's tips for 2018. But Peter Zook, as we got you here in the office, Pete, I always slide by your office and ask you a question or two. You're very astute with the MSHDA programs. We got the National Faith Down Payment Assistance Program, FHA 203Ks. Hey, Pete, just for the listening audience out there, a little bit about the MSHDA program through the state of Michigan.
Okay, MSHDA program, it's a first-time buyer program designed for...
Or if you have not owned a house in the last 3 years,
then you're a first-time buyer. If you haven't owned a house in the last 36 months, you're a first-time buyer. It's designed to to lend down payment assistance of up to $7,500 from the state. Okay, and
that could be used for your down payment.
Closing costs, taxes, insurance, all that good stuff. You got to be first-time buyer. You got to be. There are income limits. You can't make $150K and
take advantage of a down payment assistance program because you don't need it.
Exactly. It's trying to level the playing field and help people get a leg
Is it
up.
the median income that we see often in our areas about $70,000? Is that what they're using?
Generally,
okay.
Yeah, fairly. But there are some
certain
targeted
areas.
areas. There are certain targeted areas where the state is trying to provide additional assistance to help level the playing fields. For example, some of these counties you can make $110,000 and still be qualified for the program.
Pete, I had a lady call me at the end of the day yesterday, and she, we started talking, and she's going to be a first-time home buyer, and she's looking at about $120,000, wants to get out of her rental situation. I told her between 30 and 45 days. Now, how long does it take to get approved for that MSHDA loan?
Literally, there's one extra step to send a package down at the end over to the state of Michigan. So tack 2 or 3 days onto a normal processing time.
Okay.
And really, that's all there is to it. So it's not. The processing time should not be the determining factor of whether or not you utilize this program or whether or not a realtor takes advantage of it.
Now, I would tell you right now, with the market going on right now and how fast people want to close, what we're seeing, Tony, is that sellers don't want to close in rapid fashion anymore because they've got nowhere else to go because it's taking time for them to find a house or
if they're building one,
or not. Maybe they're going to rent, so they want to stay in their existing home longer so they can pack up, and they're making a deal with the buyer, and they're saying, listen, we'll sell you the home, but we need 30, 60 days of occupancy, most of the times for free, so they can stay in the house.
What you're saying rings true. A lot of sellers are very nervous about getting their home on the market right now and not having anywhere to go.
Right.
That's part of the discussion we have is a backup plan on what they're going to be doing, where they're going to be going. A lot of sellers are actually putting their homes on the market and moving into an apartment for a short-term time, 3 to 6 months.
I see nothing wrong with that. And as a matter of fact, the other day in our office, one of our guys said, in our office, a guy who works at Capital Mortgage Fund, he says, listen, if I could sell my house right now, I'd move an apartment in a minute, because he would take advantage of the high side and then he would wait. The issue is that he doesn't want to move his family. I mean, his wife says, no way, I don't want to do this.
Right.
She doesn't want to do
happening.
it.
Wife says no, it's not happening.
Yeah, right. He says he's not emotionally attached to the house. He's emotionally attached to the money involved in the house. So we like that. You'll see that. But that's, Harvey, that's what I did.
Oh, yeah.
Way back in the day, sold my house, waited 6-8 months, bought another house. We rented.
All right, we got tons to share with you. It's 9:25. Get up, enjoy the day. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Show. Again, 248-539-9797. We'll be right back.
97.1 The Ticket.
Hi, Harry Glantz and Dan Burke for Capital Mortgage Funding. We do loans everywhere. In Southfield, in Birmingham, in Royal Oak, in Groseal, in Detroit, in Canton, in Northville. No matter where you live, we want to do your mortgage too. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.
A little slow chimey coming in there.
There you go. All right. If you just joined us, 9:31, the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. That's right. You got to tune in 97.1 The Ticket. We're going to have tons of sports a little bit later in the afternoon here. We got some Tiger baseball. And we also have Dan Leach coming in for Pat Caputo. So keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket. Again, we give you a little 30 minutes here of hardcore mortgage talk. 248-539-9797. We definitely want to take your phone calls. We've got all the fellas in here. And what's that office you're with, Joe? I think I was missing out on there.
That's okay. Dwellings by Rudy and Hall, located downtown Plymouth. We have about 45 agents, so we're the opposite of what Austin has going on over at Keller Williams. Not for any reason in particular.
Yeah.
We've grown. I mean, when I started there 2 years ago, we had maybe 23 agents. So we're doubled already, continuing to grow, and really focus a lot more on the concierge style service, more people to people, not to say other people aren't doing people to people, but I mean, that's our focus.
Yeah.
That's the number one training that we get when we come in is focus on people and servicing them.
Well, I know Austin wants to jump in there on that one.
Well, just say, get out of the studio, Joe.
Okay. He'll be recruiting him later in the afternoon. Hey, gentlemen.
Careful, Joe.
Gentlemen, and of course, hey, Beck, there's no doubt we're in some of the hottest markets. I mean, it's like Denver, Colorado around here lately, Southeast Michigan.
Hot.
Cranes in the sky, Harvey.
But even with what's going on across this hot market, we definitely saw the inventory, definitely drying up a little bit early in the year. It's kept the numbers not as great as 2017. Of course, the dollar amounts are higher in the houses, but the volume's not as much. But again, there are these opportunities out there. We did see home ownership rate rose 64.3%. It just ticked up a point, so it's the highest home ownership in a long time. 6 straight quarter of yearly increases. Over the past 12 months, 1.77 million, almost 2 million people have become homeowners, and renters declined about 100,000. So again, if you're out there,
beautiful thing.
Yes, it is. If you're out there renting, you're paying somebody else's mortgages. You're not building equity. There's a lot of things that home ownership brings, sense of community, and some other great things. Again, find out how you can become a homeowner. Again, if you're planning on staying, if you're thinking about looking at job interviews, you're
Right.
just out of college, you haven't nailed where you're at. Yeah, maybe home ownership isn't for you right now, but
The Ticket.
all righty, welcome back to the show. What a gorgeous day out there. Summer here in Michigan. Get out on the golf course, hit the links. Definitely do a little boating today. I think I'm either be on Sylvan or Cass. I got a choice today, and a little salute to all the boaters out there. Be safe. Put those life jackets on the kids and take it easy on the booze. That's for sure.
Let me take it easy. Just don't do it.
Well,
Let me take it easy. What do you throw booze on a boat with kids on the back? You know, that's a recipe. That's a recipe for success, right?
248-539-9797. We brought in Tony Holquin from Gap Realty down in Southgate. Tony, been around the Downriver area forever. We're taking all your calls again, 248-539-9797. And in fact, if my keyboard gear guy sees me, let's go to the call on caller number right out there, Tom from Sterling Heights. Good morning, Tom. Welcome to the show.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for having me on, guys. Love the show.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it.
What do you got going on, Tom? You said you got a refi on maybe a veteran's VA loan.
Right. Well, I actually do need to refinance, and I just happened to, like, recently, this past week or two, I've been getting a lot of calls from, I don't know, being cold called and being asked if I want to refinance because the VA loan or VA guidelines have changed, and I didn't really look into it, and I didn't know if that was even true.
Yeah,
if anything has changed with the VA loan.
See, what's going on is that they pulled your documents from the county, the recorded document. They saw that you have a VA loan.
Right.
So the big thing right now is they're cold calling all of the VA loans right now to try to put you on an interest rate reduction loan. It's a VA IRRRL, it's called. And I think, I'm glad that you're doing your homework. I'm glad that you're collecting all your information. And we certainly can be part of that and put us on your matrix and let us give you the best offer we can do, and we'll take care of it.
Yeah.
It's something we do very well. We have 2 VA specialists in our office, and we certainly can go ahead and when I say VA specialists, we have more than 2 people that do loans, obviously. But we have people that specialize in certain kind of loans that are experts on those loans, so you're going to get very well taken care of. And we just want to make sure that we give you the accurate information.
Did something change with the VA loan, or no?
No,
or
it didn't. When you
VA
say
reduction,
no, it didn't. It didn't change. They're just bringing it now out into the light where people are trying to capitalize on the, getting people refinanced on the VA transaction. Which it's not necessarily a change. It's just different than a regular refinance where, as a veteran, you just have to provide us a little less documentation than you would if you were going on a conventional loan.
Let me jump in on that one, too. Hey, Tom, it's a great call, and I'm glad because it always gets other people interested. Most of the veterans who have been in the house for a while, and I'm going to ask you this question, do we have over 20% equity now in the house? That's the
probably.
key. Okay.
Yeah, 'cause I bought my house for like $130,000 and got appraised for $190,000, but we're getting a new appraisal because the guy who appraised it, I don't think,
Well, slow down on that appraisal bit.
Yeah, are you in process right now? Are you getting that done right now?
Well, I did apply through a bank, and I just turned it down because I don't think that's where it should be because there's like a house 2 houses away from me that sold for $220,000, and he appraised mine at $190,000.
So Tom, you moved forward with the mortgage. Let me just ask you this. And again, I want to get you on board hopefully this week. Did you sort of do with a stranger? Is it a local company or is it someone you really don't know?
What, the bank?
Yeah, whatever bank you're using.
Yeah, it's my bank.
Okay, all right, good. So what we can do is if you want to shoot us, Harvey will call you after the show, shoot us your address. We'll take a look at it. We'll do some preliminary investigation on where we think your house should come in at. And we do that for free. And there's no obligation to you.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need that. You don't need the highest appraisal to get rid of the mortgage insurance. Again, you don't have that on a VA loan. You already paid your VA upfront funding fee. So the key is to switch you into a conventional mortgage now, because otherwise you're going to have to pay a funding fee again. So I do like the idea that, and I'm not sure if you were going that route.
And hopefully we could save you money because you should be able to get a lower rate.
Yeah, get a lower rate and take advantage of a conventional loan.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to see what my options were. So,
all right.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, we'll hook that up for you.
Awesome. Thanks for the call. Awesome stuff, Tom.
Great call. Harvey, what'd you just do?
Just dropping my pen here. Hey, let's go out to Josh in Oak Park. Hey, good morning, Josh. Welcome to the show. You got a question about Mishta loans?
Yes, yes, gentlemen. Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Josh.
Actually, 2 questions. The first one was, I got a VA loan when I got out of the military, when I got married, and I was told that you can only get a VA loan one time, and that was it. And my son, he's grown now, and he asked me a question the other day, can I get another VA loan based on the fact that I was a veteran?
Yeah, that might be the case. Pete, again, he's got to check this, get a new certificate of eligibility. Then we could check it out. Right now, do you have a current VA loan out with your name on it?
No, I don't.
You should be able to obtain a new one. Yeah, you should be able to obtain a new one. And you haven't had a VA loan in the last 3 years?
No, sir.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to have a problem getting a new VA loan. Why would you want one, Josh? Are you looking at buying a house, or what's your situation now?
No, I'm not talking for me. I'm talking for my son.
For a son.
Well, yeah, that's a little. He's not a veteran, though.
No. I'm just.
Yeah.
I was because he's a.
We've got other programs. Yeah, we've got other programs for him, Josh. But if you left your number with our producer, definitely follow up. And I'd love to help your son out. We're right in Southfield, so we can definitely set up a meeting face-to-face and find out how we can help him become a homeowner.
My next question, I'll make it quick. How can I find out more about Mischief for my son?
That's an excellent question. Peter can help you out.
I'd love to help out with
Yeah,
that.
Peter will give you all the information on Mishnah loans. Peter's a Mishnah expert in our office, and like I said, we have people that specialize in certain kind of loans, and Peter does a nice amount of Mishnah transactions, and he'll hook you up with all the information.
Josh, what we'll do is, Pete, you'll just give him a call after the show. And Josh, let's have we'll set up an appointment. You guys can come into our Southfield office this week. Pete will look forward to hooking you up.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Awesome stuff. Again, the key is there's no obligation. We just provide a ton of knowledge. Boy, our clients are sharper than other clients. I'm just saying it's a fact out there. Harry, you won't let me say certain things today.
No.
But I'm telling you that when my clients come back, they're sharper than any other client. I talk to people all the time that went elsewhere. Now they're, hey, Harvey, I've heard about you. I'm being referred to you.
So everybody out there, Harvey wants to start naming names of other institutions, and I won't let him on the air because
you mean that have failed.
So
our
I don't want you to do that. But what the essence of what the discussion you want to have is that we like to educate our clients, and we want them to ask more questions, not less questions, and then we'll give them the accurate information. And what we're trying to do through our office is we specialize in all mortgage loans, but we have specialists within our office that do certain kinds of loans really, really well. And that's what people need. You just can't. There's not a one-stop shop where somebody knows something about everything. Now, it's okay. You can be, a jack of all trades, a master of none. All right, but we like to go ahead and have people that are specifically knowledgeable in certain kind of loans, so that transaction is set up for success and it goes according to plan, very smooth, and you close on time. That's how we operate.
All right, Pete, do you want to dive into, thanks for Harry for cleaning me up.
There you go. You're
I
all
still
good
got
now.
something
You
to say.
feel better now?
I'm still not done with you, Harry.
I know.
248
Harvey forgot his wallet today.
97. Yeah, I woke up with a missing wallet, and I apologize to my girlfriend for barking at her about it. How is it always someone else's fault when our key or wallet's missing?
Harvey, I have absolutely no idea. I've been trying to figure out for 25 years, and I think I've done a good job.
Pete, definitely the homes that are left on the marketplace. Even I talked to a real estate agent this morning, Nicole, one of my buddies. We do some business. She's got a friend's house listed. They dropped the price on it. The house is absolutely going to sell in a day. There's one small problem. It hasn't been updated in literally 15, 20 years. He bought it that long ago. He's looking at some older Formica. He's got some paint that needs to be done. If those are the only two things that the feedback's coming back. They dropped the price. How do we educate? We're noticing out there that a lot of the agents, they don't know the next step. You didn't like it, then that's it. But there's these FHA 203Ks. There's conventional loans.
Conventional renovation loans also.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, well, either of those, either the 203K or the conventional renovation loan, they work very similar in that we'll give you the money for the down, or we'll give you the money to purchase the house, plus set aside money to do renovations once you get into the house.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at to paint a house and exterior. I mean, a good size house, 2,500 to 3,000 square feet. Yeah, it can cost you $5,000 to $8,000, depending on how much work and do they got to replace wood and stuff of that nature. But you're talking $5,000 to paint a rather large house, maybe even less. You can do it yourself. Mm-hmm. I always feel like maybe some of the agents are just so great. They can walk in and they can show people, look, hey, look at the old Formica. And say it's an inexpensive fix, Tony. You see it all the time. If you've got the location you're looking for, the school district, again, we have loans that can help you. You can purchase a house, build equity in your first year, and start renovating the house the way you like it.
Sometimes you got to chisel off the corners to make a square peg fit in a round hole, and that's part of having good loan products and things of that nature. And a good team behind you, you can do that. It's good. A good agent will notice those things. And if you got a good mortgage company behind you, you can sometimes make that happen.
Yeah, so Tony, we often talk in technical terms, because it's what we do every day. We say FHA 203K and everything. In real people language, what that means is if you see a house that you want to go ahead and you want to fix it up to the way you want to fix it up, there's a program available for you that we can fit you into. As a matter of fact, there's more than one. So, don't get caught up in the numbers, 203K, this, that. It's a renovation loan that you're going to put your hard work, sweat equity in it. There's going to be a consultant that's involved in it. There is a loan program out there for you.
All right, 248-539-9797. We always want to hear from you all morning long here. Ken, we got a lot to cover still regarding purchasing a house, some buyer's tips for 2018.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah,
Gentlemen, I have a question for you. Okay. So we know that right this second the market's hot, all right? I refer to loan. I refer the client to a realtor because that's what we do. We have so many connections, and we get so many people that call us that are sellers of homes. They don't have a realtor, so we go ahead and we refer out the realtor community. So a realtor walks in, takes a look at the house, puts the house up for sale. They got a little bit of action on the first day. There were 2 lookers. And guess what? The house sold within 2 days of the listing.
All right, we want to hear the end of the story here. This is going to be a good
Cash offer for real.
All right, 248-539-9797. We come back, all of your calls.
Hi, Harry Glantz and Dan Burke for Capital Mortgage Funding. We do loans everywhere. In Southfield, in Birmingham, in Royal Oak, in Groseal, in Detroit, in Canton, in Northville. No matter where you live, we want to do your mortgage too. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.
Alrighty, welcome back to the show, 946. Good morning, Detroit. It's a gorgeous day outside. We're on the cooler side. Get out there and enjoy. Hit those golf courses, the lakes. Of course, always wear your ski jacket. Be careful. Watch those kids.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood today.
I like that. 248-539-9797. Why not call Capital Mortgage all week long, all weekend long? You get that house refinance. You could do a cash-out refinance. That's right. Home ownership's the way to go. So many of you with trillions of dollars worth of equity in your house. We see lots of families taking advantage of the cash out refinance for lots of reasons. Back, of course, paying off toxic debt, those high interest rates on your credit card. Some families just paying off the student loans, keep the cash flow really looking good. Lots of reasons. And more importantly, removing mortgage insurance. It's always been one of the things out there. Mortgage insurance on conventional loans called PMI, on FHA loans, they're called MIP. If you have enough equity and if you don't know how to remove it, definitely call Capital Mortgage Funding. We're the experts on it. We'll teach you what you have if you didn't know how to get rid of it and when it falls off. So there's lots of nuances in the world of mortgages. Again, FHA loans taken before June 3rd, 2013, that MIP falls off your loan. But if you have an FHA loan after that date, that MIP sticks on the loan pretty much for a lifetime. So again, some other things in there.
Time. So
never going away.
It's worth it to take a look at it. And a lot of people are calling right now as far as getting rid of like a lot more of its debt consolidation that I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And me personally, I didn't hit the birth lottery, so my parents did not put me through college. And not that there's anything wrong with that. They just were hardworking and they just didn't have, there's 4 of us, that kind of thing. But there's a lot of, I'm seeing where they have all the student loan debt because they did put their children through school and now they're in their retirement ages and they are strapped. They're
Visit adoptuskids.org, a public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
The only way you can take 97.1 The Ticket with you is the radio.com app. Download it today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
97.1 The Ticket.
All righty, welcome back to the show. 9:45. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Give us a call, Capital 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Always here in the studio, 248-539-9797. Tons to share with you. Of course, you can definitely check us out on Facebook. And again, that's Facebook Live. If you are not a Facebook person, like our show. We'll always respond to your questions out there. And here, what is that? What did that?
So I want to go back to that situation where we referred a realtor a transaction.
Yeah, you had cash buyers.
Cash buyer came in, took a look around the house, made an offer. They negotiated, and they got their highest and best price on it. People are happy. They're going to close within 30 days, and it's a good situation. But the market's still hot out there. We are coming to the tail end of summer, but people are out there right now looking to buy property. And if you have, and we put it on there, and you put it on your sheet here, everybody, take a look. Tony comes prepared.
Yeah.
You have to prepare your house in order for it to sell. I mean, listen, if you're not putting your best face forward on your house, you might get some interest because the market's hot, but then you might not. You never know what it's going to take to turn somebody on as well as to turn somebody off of buying your house, too. So Tony put it in writing. He says, hey, listen, you know what? You got to put your house in the proper condition for it to sell. Okay? So, Tony, what are some of your tips that you want to go ahead and tell people to do?
Well, first of all, clean the place up. Declutter, get rid of some of that stuff, some of the personal stuff. You got to clean everything out. That's number one. Paint and carpet go a long way. It's the biggest bang for your buck to improve it. Curb appeal is super important. Clean up some of the, I always talk
clean
about
up the yard.
Clean up the yard. Clean up the porch. As you're standing on the porch, the realtor is fumbling with the lockbox, okay?
Right.
And the buyers are standing
They're
behind
looking
them.
around.
They're looking up. They're looking like this. They're going all over the place. They're seeing the cobwebs that are up there on the light.
Yeah.
They're seeing all that stuff.
How about clean the leaves out of the gutters that were there from last fall?
Absolutely.
How about do that?
Yeah, all of those things need to be done. You got to position it well, but as far as price goes, and you got to have some good marketing in place, but you got to have the product. You got to have the product. It's got to look good.
Right. You see what people are putting out there. I mean, it's gorgeous. Now, the staging of the homes, we're going to have stagers coming on actually in a couple weeks. The staging of the homes, you're seeing these gorgeous videos out there. We're talking about the social media and digital marketing. Yeah, it's come a long way. And people, those are what your homes need to look like. Absolutely still. They need to look like models. Hey, look, take the time this afternoon. If you're not someone who likes to go out there and soak in the sun, take the time this afternoon and go ahead and really do a deep clean. Get rid of all the clutter. Get rid of that old, nasty carpet. Again, a lot of the carpet companies out there, you see them on TV and stuff, they can get out there in a relatively quick time and really freshen up your place. So again, we're not talking about a ton of money. Use the proper advice from professional real estate agents to stage your house properly.
Yeah, how about take the dishes off the counter and put them in the dishwasher, okay? How about do that? Get them out of the sink. Get the glasses, the forks, and the spoons. I'm speaking from experience because, first of all, I don't even know what a dishwasher is, okay? But get them off the sink. Get them out of the sink. Get them off the counter. Throw in the dishwasher. Get everything all spotless and clean. Clear your kitchen counter off. Make the house look nice. Take the kitchen table. Move all your stuff off of that. It's got to be presentable. So, those are just some little helpful tips. And we think, we take that for granted. No, you should see some of the appraisals I look at. Okay.
Buyers have to be able to mentally move themselves in.
Right.
So if they can't do that because of all the clutter, then it's going to be a harder sale.
Yeah.
If the listeners really want something, they can give me a call, 734-686-5958. I have a great checklist of what they can do to get their home ready for sale.
Yeah, and you'll send it out. You'll email it to them or send it to them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, speaking of clutter, Harvey, we've got a Facebook Live comment. Somebody wants to know, how to declutter their credit. How do they improve their credit score? Well, it's pretty easy, okay? Don't pay the $500 or $750 at one of these credit repair places because, see, if you haven't paid your bills and there are late payments on there, they cannot remove them, okay? So I'm going to put that out there right now. If you have late payments and things on your credit report because you didn't make your payments on time, if you pay somebody $500 or $750, they can't remove them. Nobody can. So what we can do to help people out is we could pull your credit. we could take a look and we could advise you how many points somebody could get their credit score up by paying down on certain trade lines, by going ahead and let some time pass, by paying off a judgment or trying to negotiate a settlement. Okay, but listen, if you had late payments in the past, they can't be taken off your credit report. All you can do is let time go by, depending on your credit score, and your credit score will go up through a time factor. So anybody who says they can erase bad credit, it's not happening. Cannot erase bad credit.
Yeah, here you mentioned again paying those bills on time and letting time take a hold of things, and time will improve. But you can also pay down your balances.
Right.
And we have a credit expert program that'll show us how many points your credit score could go up by paying down balances. Hey, let's move off to a call now. Then I know you got a lot to share too, Pete. We got Ron out there in Flushing. Good morning, Ron. Welcome to our show.
Good morning, gentlemen. I couldn't agree more.
Oh, good. Tell us
with what, Ron?
Which one?
With what?
Well,
all
okay.
of us.
All right. So I throw the house up for sale. You know, I work with the agent, and I'm like, listen, you got to use better pictures. Don't have the TV on and taking a picture of the living room. Okay.
Right.
It's part of my OCD. I apologize.
No, I like it.
I got a little bit of that OCD
and I've
thing.
worked with you down in the office before on another house. But anyway, so we put the sign out. I come home one day from work on a Saturday, and boom, someone's gawking by the house, and I wave them over.
Right.
Young couple, and I walk them through. I'm like, I don't care. I mean, you can tell. You know what I mean? You can tell from a person. But anyway, they loved it. I get a call the following morning on Sunday. We got a contract full price. I'm like, oh, no.
No,
Right.
that's good.
Now what happens, Ron, is you have to go find a place is what your call's about. How's that going?
Yeah, frantic.
Yeah.
Insane are a few words. Because the area that we're going to, they're gone within days, which is fine. And we were looking previous. But anyway, we did find a place, and of course, it's the art of negotiation. But the whole jig is, while we're looking out for the last probably 2 months, okay, when we put ours on about 3 weeks ago, okay, the jig is this: real estate agents really look at a house when you're posting photos, and as a buyer, if you think for 1 second that I look at your house and it has somewhat curb appeal, okay, I'll take a look at your photos. But when I see crap everywhere in every room, I see soda bottles, people's plates, their dinnerware, a bed down in the basement, I'm going to go to the next house.
You know, Ron, it sounds better coming from you. And again, I want to harp on this morning, but there's no doubt you got to have the best product put forward. And, you know, like you said, it's a turnoff right away for a lot of people. If you got OCD like I got a touch ever you do have, you have a full-blown case, Ron. You're moving on to the next house. So have you found a house yet? Have you signed up a purchase agreement yet?
Yes, oddly enough, we didn't use our agent to look at another home, and I won't even get into that. And I did use a gentleman that I've known for years, and he's been in it for years, and he guided us through everything, through the portals. He set everything up.
Great.
Documentation, just like, hey, this is what we want to do, this is what we don't want to do. I mean, he was down to the point, we looked at one place that he's sniffing the carpet. He goes, oh, they got cats.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding me?
No,
really?
Experienced agent knows. I mean, that's the point. And I like what you're saying is, and you know, just and not to cut you off, but the bottom line goes like this. You're a guy, you looked at the pictures, they're bad pictures. You're saying to yourself, really? Why would somebody even post this on the internet or wherever they're posting it? And we get that. And that was the point of Tony saying, hey, look at, what are you doing here? The property has to stage really well. But sounds like you looked through everything. You cut through all the red tape. You saw through everything. And you found yourself a nice place. That's great.
Hey, Ron, we'll follow up.
Do your homework.
Hey, Ron, I like that stuff. We'll definitely give you a call after the show to thank you for calling in and see if we somehow.
Have a blessed day, gentlemen. Take
Thank
care.
you. You too.
Awesome stuff. 248-539-9797. If you want to sneak a phone call in here, we've still got a little bit more to talk about. Some buyer's tips, Tony, which are always good. I always say get that real strong approval letter. We talk about different kinds of approval letters. pre-approval where they haven't run your credit or you haven't supplied documents. That's not a good pre-approval. But a strong approval is where you've already supplied all your documents, and a mortgage lender, a real mortgage lender like us with in-house underwriting, can underwrite your file ahead of time and give you and your agent the confidence to move forward. That's the key, Tony.
Absolutely the key. Very important to do that. Very important to have a local person, too.
Oh, I like that one. Local lenders are always going to help save you money, and, of course, they know what's going on with the appraisals and what's going on in the area. Peter, the music says we got to go, but we'll have you guys back.
All right.
Tony, thanks a lot for showing up. We appreciate it. Did your homework. I like this.
Yeah.
I like the notes.
All right. Be sure to
Thank
call
you very much,
Capital
guys.
Mortgage Funding. We got tons to share with
Thanks,
you. Call
Pete.
Capital. Find out about Mr. Loans, down payment assistance. And, again, if you're a jumbo purchaser, call Capital Mortgage, 1-800-LOW-RATE. Get the best rates and best service on your new home purchase. All right, I guess sports coming up. We got, I think, Pat Caputo out there. Keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket. We'll see you next Saturday.
Hi, Harry Glantz and Danberg for Capital Mortgage Funding. We do loans everywhere. In Southfield, in Birmingham, in Royal Oak, in Grosse Ile, in Detroit, in Canton, in Northville. No matter where you live, we want to do your mortgage too. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.